Hey, Leap Inspire family. Buckle up for an epic, heart-wrenching saga that'll take you deep into a world of glittering wealth, vicious betrayal, and a truth so shattering it turns a billionaire's wedding into a battlefield of redemption. Imagine Manhattan's grandest ballroom, its golden chandeliers casting a warm glow over red carpets that stretch like rivers of fire to an altar draped in white roses, rare orchids, and tulips flown in from Amsterdam, their petals shimmering like jewels. The air buzzes with anticipation as New York's elite, politicians in tailored suits, moguls sipping vintage champagne, celebrities flashing practiced smiles, gather for the wedding of billionaire Ethan Caldwell to Vanessa Langley, a cunning heiress whose charm masks a heart forged in ambition. Whispers ripple through the crowd about Lila Monroe, Ethan's ex-wife, a woman Vanessa has branded a failure, a shadow cast out from their glittering world. Upstairs in a private suite, Vanessa adjusts her diamond-encrusted veil, her emerald eyes locked on a live feed of the ballroom, her voice sharp as a blade. "Make sure Lila's there," she hisses to her assistant, a nervous young woman clutching a tablet. "Front row, where everyone can see her crumble." Vanessa's lips curl into a venomous smile. Today isn't just about marrying Ethan, it's about destroying Lila, cementing her own reign as queen of his empire. Downstairs, the guests trade gossip like currency. "Lila was his wife, but she was never one of us," a socialite in a sapphire gown murmurs, her pearls glinting. "Vanessa's old money, a perfect match," another replies, adjusting his cufflinks. Ethan stands at the altar, his white tuxedo pristine, his face a mask of calm. But his eyes betray a flicker of unease, a shadow of doubt no one else notices. His best man, a loyal friend named Julian, leans in, voice low. "You good, Ethan?" Ethan nods, forcing a smile, but his heart feels heavy, as if it remembers something his mind has buried. The violins weave a delicate melody, their notes floating like silk, when the massive oak doors groan open, and a hush swallows the room, silencing even the music. Lila Monroe steps forward, her silver gown catching the chandelier light like liquid moonlight, radiating a quiet defiance that commands every eye. She's not alone. 3 children, 2 boys and a girl, dressed in crisp navy suits and a cream dress, walk beside her, their small hands steady, their faces bearing an uncanny resemblance to Ethan. Gasps erupt like sparks. "Are those Ethan's kids?" a politician whispers, his wife clutching his arm. "Impossible," a celebrity hisses, but the likeness is undeniable. Ethan's sharp jawline, his piercing blue eyes, the subtle curve of his brow. Vanessa's smile falters as she watches from her suite, her fingers tightening around her phone. "How dare she?" she mutters, her voice trembling with rage. She planned to parade Lila as a broken relic, a discarded ex-wife to be pitted, but this is different. Lila's presence is regal, unshaken, a queen reclaiming her stage. The children's likeness to Ethan sends whispers spiraling through the crowd. "They look just like him," a tech mogul murmurs, adjusting his glasses. "This is about to get messy," his wife replies, fanning herself with a silk fan. Lila moves down the red carpet, her steps deliberate, her gaze locked on the altar, where Ethan stands frozen. The youngest child, a girl no older than 4, clutches a stuffed bunny, its ears frayed from love, and looks up at Ethan with wide, innocent eyes. "Daddy, why's another lady with you?" she asks, her voice clear and piercing, cutting through the silence like a bell. The room freezes. Cameras flash, their clicks echoing like gunfire. Vanessa's assistant drops her clipboard, the clatter lost in the stunned hush. Ethan staggers, his hand gripping the altar for support, his voice barely a whisper. "Daddy?" Vanessa storms into the ballroom, her heels clicking like a war drum, her face a mask of fury. "This is a stunt," she shouts, pointing at Lila, her diamond bracelet glinting. "She's desperate, dragging these children here to ruin my day." But her words fall flat, like stones sinking in a still pond. The guests' eyes are locked on the children, their features a mirror of Ethan's, undeniable and haunting. Lila stands tall, her voice steady as steel. "I didn't come to ruin your wedding, Vanessa. I came to show the truth. These are Ethan's children, our children. You can't erase their blood." The crowd erupts in murmurs, a wave of shock and intrigue. Vanessa laughs, a brittle, hollow sound that echoes in the vast hall. "They're not his. She's lying, probably paid some man to fake this." But Ethan's gaze is fixed on the children, his heart pounding like a drum in his chest. He notices a tiny crescent-shaped birthmark behind the eldest boy's ear, a mark he shares, a rare Caldwell family trait passed down through generations, a silent testament etched in skin. His breath catches, memories flooding back like a tide. Years ago, Ethan and Lila were a love story woven in simplicity, laughing over late-night coffee in a cramped Brooklyn apartment, dreaming of a future where love, not wealth, defined them. "I'd love you even if you were broke," Lila had said, asked one evening, his blue eyes, so like Ethan's, searching her face. Lila smiled, hiding her pain. "He's lost right now, sweetheart, but he'll find you someday." She vowed to shield them, knowing Vanessa would twist their existence into a weapon. Lila's rise wasn't just professional, it was personal. She rebuilt herself, attending business forums where she met Raphael Alcott, a tycoon who saw her potential. "You're not just a socialite," he told her after she presented her vision for sustainable fashion. "You're a force." He mentored her, teaching her to navigate markets and outmaneuver enemies like Vanessa. Lila's boutique became a sensation, her designs worn by actresses and diplomats, her real estate investments rivaling Ethan's. Yet, she kept her children's identities secret, even from her growing circle, fearing Vanessa's reach. At night, she'd sit on her penthouse balcony, the city lights below, and whisper to herself, "I won't let you win, Vanessa. My children will know their worth." Back in the ballroom, the truth unfolds like a storm breaking over a calm sea. Ethan's mother, Eleanor Caldwell, rises from her seat, her silver hair gleaming under the chandeliers, her voice cutting through the chaos like a blade. "Enough, Vanessa," she declares, holding up a folder, its edges worn from years of safekeeping. "I've known about these children since their birth. DNA tests, taken when they were infants, prove they're Ethan's." The projector, meant for Vanessa's wedding montage, flickers to life, displaying the results. 99.9% match, Ethan Caldwell. Biological father. The crowd gasps, a collective intake of breath that shakes the room. Vanessa's face pales, her bouquet trembling in her hands. "Fake! It's all fake!" she cries, her voice cracking, but the guests turn away, their whispers turning to applause for Lila. Dr. Nathan Cole steps forward, his black suit sharp, his voice firm but heavy with years of restraint. "I was their doctor, Ethan, not their father. Vanessa twisted my care for Lila into a lie to break you two apart." The children, sensing the shift, run to Ethan, their small arms wrapping around his legs. "Daddy, we missed you," the youngest, Emma, says, her bunny pressed against his knee. Ethan kneels, tears streaming down his face, his hands trembling as he touches their cheeks. "I was wrong," he whispers, his voice raw. "I'm so sorry I let lies blind me." Vanessa's allies, two socialites named Veronica and Lynn, who'd spread her rumors for years, slipped toward the exits, their faces flushed with shame, their borrowed diamonds dull in the light. The crowd's applause grows, a wave of support for Lila's courage. Lila faces Vanessa, her voice rising like a tide. "You tried to erase us, Vanessa, but you can't erase their blood, their faces, their truth." Ethan takes Lila's hand, his voice breaking. "I failed you, Lila. I let her lies poison me. But I won't fail our family again. Lila nods, tears falling, her heart mending stitch by stitch. Just be here now, Ethan, she whispers, her voice soft but resolute. Vanessa, her dreams of power crumbling, stumbles backward, her veil askew, and flees the ballroom, her heels echoing in the silence, a queen whose crown is shattered. The chandeliers seem to glow warmer, as if blessing the reunion of Ethan. Lila seized her chance. She hired photographers to capture innocent moments, Nathan helping Lila into a car, Nathan smiling as he handed her a prescription, and spun them into a narrative of infidelity. She enlisted Veronica and Lynn, socialites desperate for status, to spread the rumors. Lila's cheating with Nathan, they'd whisper at galas, planting stories in gossip columns. Ethan, stretched thin by his empire's demands, began to doubt. One night, Lila came home with a prescription, and Ethan snapped. Why are you always with Nathan? Lila, stunned, pleaded. He's your friend, Ethan. I was sick. That's all. But Vanessa's voice was louder in his mind, her lies a poison that turned love to suspicion. The final blow came when Vanessa showed Ethan a forged email, suggesting Lila and Nathan had spent a weekend together. Ethan, heartbroken, confronted Lila, refusing to hear her denials. We're done, he said, his voice cold, and Lila left, her dignity intact, her heart shattered. Lila's exile wasn't defeat, it was rebirth. She moved to her family's Westchester estate, a sprawling property her parents had built through their own fashion and real estate ventures. She refused to lean on their wealth, determined to rise on her own. With their blessing, she launched Monroe Designs, sketching gowns late into the night while her children slept. Her first boutique in Soho was a gamble, mocked by the elite as the ex-wife's hobby. But Lila's designs, elegant, sustainable, timeless, caught fire. Actresses wore her gowns to premieres, diplomats ordered custom pieces, and soon her brand was a global name. She expanded into real estate, buying land in the Hamptons and developing eco-friendly communities, her vision shaped by Raphael Alcott, a mentor who saw her as a titan, not a victim. You're building a legacy, he told her, inspecting a property she'd transformed. Not just for you, but for them. He nodded toward her children, playing nearby. Lila smiled. I want them to know strength, not pain. Her children, Lucas, Noah, and Emma, were her heart. She raised them with love, their penthouse a haven of warmth, filled with books, music, and stories of a father they'd never met. Why doesn't Daddy come? Noah asked one night, holding a photo of Ethan. Lila's throat tightened, but she answered, He's lost, but he loves you. One day he'll see. She kept them hidden, knowing Vanessa would exploit them. Eleanor, Ethan's mother, was her secret ally, visiting in disguise to see her grandchildren, bringing toys and stories of the Caldwell legacy. They're Caldwell's, Eleanor said, tears in her eyes. But they're yours, Lila. You've given them a strength I wish Ethan had. Eleanor had ordered the DNA tests at birth, hiding the results to protect the children from Vanessa's reach. Dr. Nathan, too, remained a pillar, checking on the children's health, attending their school plays when Lila was swamped. Uncle Nathan, Emma called him, giggling as he brought building blocks. Not your dad, he'd say gently, but always here for you. Lila leaned on them, but her strength was her own, forged in the fire of betrayal. Vanessa, meanwhile, tightened her grip on Ethan. She moved into his mansion, sat on his company's board, her influence growing like ivy choking a tree. She threw lavish parties, ensuring Lila's name was whispered as a cautionary tale. But cracks appeared. Ethan grew distant, haunted by memories of Lila's laughter, her touch. Vanessa sensed it, doubling her efforts. She planned the wedding as a spectacle, inviting Lila to humiliate her publicly. "She'll look like a beggar next to me," Vanessa told Veronica and Lynn, who nodded eagerly, their loyalty bought with promises of status. They spread lies about Lila's ball, forging documents to suggest she'd married abroad, ensuring Ethan's trust in her remained broken. The wedding day was Vanessa's coronation, or so she thought. As Lila enters the ballroom, the air shifts, the violins faltering. The children's presence is a thunderclap, their faces a mirror of Ethan's, undeniable and haunting. Lucas, the eldest, steps forward, his voice clear. "Daddy, why don't you know us?" Noah, his twin, holds up a locket with Ethan's photo. "Mommy says you're our dad." Emma, the youngest, clutches her bunny, tears in her eyes. "We waited for you." Ethan's world tilts. He sees the birthmark, the crescent that marks his bloodline, and memories flood back. Lila's dreams of triplets, their nights planning a family. Vanessa rushes forward, her voice shrill. "They're not yours." "She's lying, Ethan." But the crowd's murmurs drown her out. "Look at their eyes," a guest says. "Caldwell's." "Through and through." Another agrees. Lila's voice rises, steady and fierce. "I hid them to protect them, Ethan. Not from you, but from her lies." Eleanor steps forward, her cane tapping, her voice unwavering. "I've protected these children since their birth," she says, raising the DNA folder. The projector lights up, showing the results, 99.9% match. The crowd gasps, applause breaking out in pockets. Vanessa screams, "It's forged. She's manipulating you all." But her allies, Veronica and Lynn, edge toward the doors, their faces pale, their borrowed glamour fading. Dr. Nathan strides forward, his voice ringing. "I was their doctor, Ethan. I cared for Lila during her pregnancy, delivered these children. Vanessa turned my friendship into a lie to destroy your family." The children cling to Ethan, their small hands gripping his. "Daddy, don't leave us," Emma whispers. Ethan kneels, tears falling. "I won't. I was blind, but I see you now." Lila faces Vanessa, her voice a blade. "You thought you could erase us, but truth doesn't bend to your schemes." Ethan stands, taking Lila's hand, his voice raw. "I failed you, Lila. I let her poison me. But I swear, I'll make this right, for you, for our children." Lila's tears fall, but she nods. "Be their father now. That's enough." The crowd erupts, applause thundering as Vanessa stumbles out, her dreams collapsing like a house of cards. The chandeliers glow brighter, as if blessing the family reborn. Lila, Ethan, and their children stand together, a beacon of truth in a world of lies. As guests file out, the story spreads. A wedding undone, a family restored, a woman who rose above betrayal. Leap Inspire family, what do you think of this saga of courage and redemption? Smash that subscribe button, join our community, and let's keep sharing stories that light up the truth and inspire us to fight for love.